Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tea Time. I'm here with the lovely, beautiful at Instahan Hannah. How are you doing, Miss Hannah? How are you?
I'm good. How you
Good.
doing?
Thank you for being here. Our lovely Talia is at the Red Sox game.
Oh, lucky.
Lucky gal. She couldn't be here today. But go Sox, dude. Um, Yeah, Hannah, tell me about your day. What's been going on with you? Work, life, etc.
Yeah, basically, I've just been walking around, uh, sitting in my own sweat, which is something that I do pretty frequently. Um,
Rollerblade.
yeah, I actually met one of my favorite reality stars last week.
Get get out of
Um,
here.
that was a big moment for me. If
What?
anyone if anyone knows Stassi Schroeder from Vanderpump
Oh
Rules,
yeah, I've heard of her. I've heard of her. I've never watched it, but I always thought Vanderpump was like a drama or something. That's a real show.
well, it's a reality show, and I highly recommend this
Okay.
show. Um, it is one of my favorite shows of all time, and the drama is unlike any other show I've ever seen before.
Okay. What was that on Netflix? E. Sounds like it's definitely an
It is
E.
on Hulu,
Okay, Hulu.
and I'm sorry that it's on Hulu because Hulu has one of the worst formatting that I've
It
ever
does, but
seen.
I do like Hulu content though. Hulu does have some bangers on there.
Yeah,
Um,
they definitely.
this my sleeper is Apple. Apple's got just like a little bit of like hidden gems in there. There's this one Carly and I are watching right now. It's called Lasting or Together. It's this two British couple and they're trying to like adopt a kid.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of little secret gems on there. Who we got here today in the chat? FSU represent. What's good, Suze? How you doing, buddy? Carly, no way. Whom? How did I know? Vanderpump. We got Nigerian Princess here. Yo, Corey is gonna be on the show this Thursday. For you guys who don't know, yeah,
cool.
he's a very cool guy. We went to university together. Um, and we got a lot to discuss. But Hannah, why don't we jump into it? So our theme today is back to school.
Back to
This
school.
one is for the high school kids going back, the college kids going back,
Woo!
foreign students. First off, you did you like school growing up? Did you like high school?
Oh, let me get into it. School for me was somewhat of a hellhole.
Oh, really?
Uh, it's hard to believe I wasn't always this beautiful. I was bullied throughout
Oh, really?
elementary and high school, I would
Oh,
say. Um, but I was a choir kid, and I was doing my music, and yeah, I mean, my high school experience, I always say, could be described as a episode of
okay,
Skins.
yeah. That's Skins, as in the British comedy
Yes,
show where the kids are doing heroin on the weekend and
correct.
have relationship issues and babies. That one, that's Skins. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Euphoria Light
it was a bit of a chaotic
experience. Mm.
environment, but uh,
The T,
Carly.
Carly says the T in this week's tea time
It
stands for trauma.
absolutely does. If you have me involved in anything, you know we're gonna get into it.
Oh man.
Um, but college was a little bit different because I had, some healthier
Yep.
habits, and I made some better
Mm-hmm.
friends, and I kind of got out of that funk and grew into a functioning adult, which is
I
good.
like it. I like it. And that's kind of the theme of today. We're going to be discussing a little bit more about that, how we can help others, uh, talk about relationships. We'll talk about how when you're going through those funks, you're not sure what to do, how what you can do in that, some of your mental health, how you can help with that. We're going to get into a little bit of Kanye versus Drake. And then we got a little watch party trailer, new reality show. I would describe my high school, middle school experience kind of like the Black Troy Bolton. I I was singing, playing lacrosse, playing basketball, playing all these sports. Getting called gay by these kids, getting called a jock by the other kids. So it was just in the middle, always kind of like, oh, I like both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it was weird, and then like Matt wasn't really Mr. Popular at school either, but I connected more with him than the in
Mm-hmm.
squad that I was friends with from middle school. So at some point, I was just kind of like, you know what? I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. I just want to hang out with good people, good friends, good vibes. So, my first tip personally is to anyone who is in high school and you're still trying to fit in, find your crew, whatever. It actually kind of applies to college too. I would say just be you, but just try new things. Try to make your schedule work. Um, like one of my regrets is I always wanted to be in my high school play, but I chose to do sports over that. And like, maybe just one semester, 1 year, you decide, hey, I'm gonna take a year off of a sport or whatever. You could always come back, and don't treat it as if like you have to do one thing or stick with something for all 4 years. Like everyone always says that, where they're like, "Oh, you'll never get into college." All colleges care is that you're doing something. You know, like you don't
Mm-hmm.
need to be doing the same four things all of high school, all of college, or whatever. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, like a big thing is you aren't what you do.
Yes.
Okay? So, um your hobbies are something that you kind of spend your free time doing, and that brings you happiness and helps you be creative, but your job, your occupation, your hobbies, that's not who you are, and you can change what you want to do at any time. So don't feel restricted in any one thing that you're
I
doing.
like that. I like that a lot. I think that's important to note that you're not what you do, because what you'll find is over time there will be things that you do or you used to do that you no longer like. I'll give an example is I used to love music. It was like my whole world. And so when I got to
Hmm.
college and after breaking up, I was like, kind of in my own head and own space, and I wasn't really sure what to do. So I went back to music, but it didn't really have that same effect. And it was because that I was kind of connecting music is who I am, but who I was someone who wanted to interact with new people, new culture, new food.
Hmm.
So trying something new
Yep,
was actually better for me.
definitely. And I definitely relate with you with music
Mm-hmm.
too. I was going to go to school for
Mm-hmm.
music initially,
Same.
um, and yeah, it just didn't go that way. But
That's another good tip too. Is like a lot of people. So I went into college pre med, and I wanted to go in for
hmm.
music, but my parents was like, "No, no, you can't do it." Like there are so many jobs out there. That's what people don't get. Like you could be a teacher
Hmm.
for music. You could be, producing music for a commercial or like a local business, or if you want to do film or whatever. Like, and I came to this realization like sophomore junior year of college, where I was like, you know what, if I'm going to be in an office the rest of my life in 10 years, am I going to be happy doing this? And I was like, no. So regardless of what my parents think or want, it's going to be my life, and I'm going to have to make those decisions. So in high school, your parents are just trying to guide you. So, try not to go back and forth. They're just trying to look out for you, that you have your best interest. But when you're in college, that ultimately is your choice. You're an adult, so you need to make the decisions that make you happy.
Right. And I heard, um, while I was looking for colleges, the number one thing I always heard was, um, do what you love, because what they always
Do what you
say.
love, and you'll never
You're
work a day. Yeah.
correct. And I never believed it. Um, but I really do think if you do what you love, and you don't stay focused on the money
Right.
will come.
Yeah, money's important, and obviously, if you're coming from a situation where you don't have money or don't have those choices, money is going to be very important. But I think what Hannah really means is like, as long as you're comfortable, you can have food, you have a roof under your head, you can
Hmm.
still hang out with your friends. Like, that's the most important. You don't need to have an absurd amount of wealth or even aspire to that to be happy.
Right, definitely, and that's something that I've definitely come to terms with
Hmm.
this past year. Carly is asking, is 18 too young to know what to do for the rest of your life? Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, when you're 18, like, some things feel like just the most important magnified thing. I mean, like, if you were in a relationship before you were 18, you literally thought you were going to be married to this person, in love, like
Hmm.
everything. And like, that might be true for some people, but for a lot of people, when you're 18, that's when you're still trying to just figure out who you are. So you need to allow that
Hmm.
separation in space. I always tell people, if you're dating someone around that age, take a little break from them and see if you'll come back together. Because if you really love each other, you really care, you guys will find your way back together. Or you go, you know what? We took a little break. I still really want to be with you. And that way, it's true.
Right, definitely. And I think a lot of those high school relationships are just kind of out of convenience
Yeah.
too. I mean, um, I dated someone all of high school, and I really, yeah, same thing, thought that that was it. We were gonna be high school
Right.
sweethearts.
Yep.
And people would like hype me up too, like
Oh,
that
you
that
guys are the
was like
couple, and yeah.
right. Which is cringe to think about,
That's all
but
right. That's all right. Cringe is
uh,
reality. Cringe is real life.
yeah. So definitely, I think anyone who is going into college in a relationship, uh what I did actually, I was in a the person I was dating in high school, we sort of were in a open relationship
Mm.
in once I went to college. Um and that worked pretty well for me.
Okay. I've never tried that.
I
So
can't say that.
what do you like? So if someone is young watching this, right, and they want to introduce that lifestyle potentially to their boyfriend, their girlfriend, whomever, um, how do you suggest that they do that? An open relationship.
Well, definitely both parties have to be open to seeing other
Yep.
people. You have to be safe about it, of course. If you're going to be engaging in any sexual activity,
Hmm.
you need to take the necessary precautions. I think it's just all about communication. If at any point someone is feeling uncomfortable, then you need to tweak what's going on. Um, but I think ultimately for me, I needed the openness so that I could, I mean, I guess really experience college the way that I wanted to.
So, okay, you said something that was important to me. So we're talking here relationships, relationship advice. Um, we both felt that we were in toxic relationships. Whether we both were responsible or not, that is up for the Lord to decide. But
Sure.
um, was there a lesson that you would take from that toxic relationship and pass it on? Because for me, the
Yeah.
number one thing I take is communication, and go with your gut. Like the other day, I was talking to Carly about this, and she was saying how, going with your instinct, going with your gut is something that a lot of women really aren't taught to do. What do you have
Hmm.
any insight on that? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, it was really hard for me to know that the relationship I was in was not a good
Mm-hmm.
one because all of the people around me were in similar relationships, but I knew it didn't feel right for most of the time. And I think when it comes down to it, like we're just two different
Yeah.
people, and you got to be honest with yourself and about what you need, because if you don't want or need the same
Mm-hmm.
things, then you can't have that healthy, strong bond. You can't have the intimacy. It just doesn't really make any
I
sense.
agree. Um, did you, if you could take one thing and tell someone who might be in high school right now, transitioning into college in a relationship, what would that be?
If you really love this
Mm-hmm.
person, give it a try and go to college and give it a try. See what
Yeah.
happens. And that's not a threat. But see what happens. I mean,
People.
every relationship is
Yeah.
different. Um but if you feel like it's too much of a strain on the relationship, I think it's totally fine for you to be like, "You know what? This is not the right time for our relationship. We both need to grow as people separately." Um and then, and like you said before, if it's meant to be, you will come back
Yeah.
together. Um there's no rush.
What I would say too is, so I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic type of guy. And I would say
Me
a
too.
lot of people would tell you, you're going to hear your parents, you're going to hear your friends, whoever, just tell you it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. But ultimately, it's like I said, once you are now 18, 17, whatever, 19, around that age group, you have to start making decisions for yourself. So that
Mhm.
means regardless of what they say, even if obviously, if they tell you, hey, I think this is a toxic relationship, something's going on there, you might want to take a listen. But if you feel
Yep.
genuinely happy about this person, you feel they respect you, there's communication back and forth. Uh, I think respect is the biggest thing. Then give it a shot because, like Hannah said, you just don't know if that will be your thing or work for you. And honestly, you know, another thing I hear a lot of people say is when you're in college, they say, oh, well, you don't get to experience life. And it's like, well, what's that? Sleeping around with
Right.
people, going
Yes.
home on a Thursday night alone, crying, getting a
Yeah.
hangover. Like the other perspective of that is you're getting to be in a relationship with someone that you've been with for a while. So now you can take trips together because you have that long summer,
Mhm.
that winter break that's longer. You could bring them to your college, introduce them to your new friends. So
Definitely.
there's a lot of life that you can live in a relationship, and being single isn't
Mhm.
always what it's made out to be, is what I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I say, every relationship is
Mm-hmm.
different. Um, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think it just depends.
yeah. Matt says at some point you got to decide for yourself who you're gonna be. Can't let nobody make that decision for you. Exactly. That's our motto
Yeah.
here. You just gotta be you. Can't let no one else change you. And I think that's where you'll find ultimately your happiness. Hannah, you had a list. You had a list of a bunch of different things. Is there anything
Mm.
else on there, relationship wise, that you think you want to share with people?
Let me check the
Go
scroll.
through. Go through.
Um,
Definitely.
oh, this was This was one that I feel like maybe our audience wouldn't think of, but
Let's hear it.
uh, peacocking.
What?
If you've heard peacocking, have you heard of this
Oh yeah, I think
term?
I like legitimately peacock.
Correct. So, a peacocking technique
Okay.
is to dress flamboyantly or eccentrically, um, to catch someone's
Okay.
attention. I am guilty of this, and I like to wear a lot of statement pieces. And
Okay.
if you wear something a little wacky, it gives people a chance to ask you or talk about what you're
That's
wearing.
true.
So it kind of, I think it invites people in. Wearing weird stuff in
Yep.
general, I feel like lets other people know that you know who you are, you're confident. Um, I think it's a good talking
It's a
piece.
great method. It doesn't really matter what gender you are. What I always suggest is, so when I am helping out some of my friends, they're like, "Oh, I want to go up to this girl and talk to her. What should I do? What should I say?" My go-to is always say, compliment the girl's shoes. You just go up and you say, "Oh, I really like your shoes," and then walk away. That way, it kind of sits with them. It's like you're. Is it a little bit manipulative? Sure, fine, whatever. But it, I think a little bit of manipulation, as long as you're not doing it negatively, isn't the worst thing in the world. You're just trying to let this person know, hey, I'm interested in you. I don't want to be too overly aggressive.
Hmm.
I think a lot of guys, they read these things on forums and online. It's like, oh, I got to be mean to girls, or I got to be this puffy my chest, oh, type of guy. Like, no. Like, just be sweet, be kind. Say, hey, I really like your shoes. They're pretty cool. Have a genuine conversation. And then,
Hmm.
this is the key thing. You're trying to have a relationship or get to know someone. Just keep asking them questions about themselves, because people are very egocentric. They want to know,
Hmm.
and then
Totally.
they find one key little thing that they say. Like, let's say the girl goes, yeah, like I got them when I was out with my brother to the mall, and we go blah blah blah. You go, oh, what mall did you go to? It was like, oh, I went to Natick Mall. It was like, oh, really, Natick Mall? Like, just find little things in their responses and keep it going. Don't focus so much on yourself, because what you'll find is, if they're interested in you, they'll ask you back. And if they don't ask you back, if they
Definitely.
don't ask you back, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not interested in you, but you also got to consider, okay, do I want to be with someone who only wants to talk about themselves? So, just keep that in the back of your head.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone wants to be listened to. Um, and when especially a woman
Hmm.
knows that you're listening to her, that's a big draw point,
Yeah.
I think, for anyone.
And don't what you just said is important. Is really listen. Don't just think of your response. Don't I don't know. Do you like pickup lines? I've never been a pickup line guy. I think they're cheesy. I think it's like, all right, did you look this up? Like, sometimes if you use a pickup line that's so bad, the girl might laugh and go, "Okay, you're an idiot," and then you have a real conversation. But I just think you just gotta find something like, "Oh, hey, I saw that you were on the soccer team," or like, "Oh, hey," you know what I mean? Like, find something about them.
Hmm. Yeah, I would say save the pickup lines for the apps.
I don't. I've never used the
Um,
apps either. So like, and I'm in a relationship now. So, is it the same thing? Is it the same approach? Is it a little different on the app?
um, I have been known to use them myself, in an app
Okay.
situation. Um, but if I'm approaching someone in person, uh,
The best way.
if it's a man, I will say, I think you're really handsome. How is your night going?
Confidence.
Um,
That's key. Fake it till
and
you
I
make
guess
it.
I would say for for women too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to compliment them and see how they're doing.
Now,
Basically, try to gauge their interest, if any.
that's an interesting perspective. So, I feel like a lot of time, like the playbook that I've learned and a lot of cis hetero people have learned is on television. There's a lot of television and movies that we can pick up on. Like, is the way that you approach someone in the LGBTQ community slightly different? How because like it's kind of like where's that indicator to know that that person is gay, bisexual, whatever? Like as a heterosexual person, I'm not really quite sure. Like, can you just go up to someone and be like, "Hey, are you gay?" Like, no, right?
Um, I actually saw a TikTok the other day that was like, um, basically this woman was giving advice on how to approach other bisexual gay
Yeah.
women, and she was basically saying, um, go up to the person, compliment her, and then say, "Are you interested in women?"
Hmm.
And I don't know if I would do that.
It's well, it's kind
It's a
of
little too
it kind
forward.
of well, you see, it kind of goes to what you were saying earlier. It's like you don't whether you play basketball or sing or dance or you're gay. It's like that isn't all of who you are. So it's like,
Right.
um, yeah. I mean, I get that. Like, and I feel like the thing is too is like you just because to me the way you want to approach someone, whether they are going to be interested in you or not, is a friendship, right? Like you want to be friendly with them. So that might be a bit aggressive.
Yeah. Um, I think if anything, I might ask a woman, honestly, if you tell her I think you're really
Yeah.
pretty, based on her response to
Yeah.
that, you can pretty much figure it out.
Hmm.
Like if she's like, "Oh my God, thank you," or if she's like, "Oh, I think you're really pretty too," then you're like, "Okay, it's on."
It's
You can
on.
tell in the inflection of a woman's
Yeah.
voice, um, and also in the eye
Mm.
contact, because women who are interested in women, they have a different sort of eye contact when they're interested.
Okay. Okay. What else you got for us, Miss Hannah?
Let's see if I have anything else.
As oh my God, Susan, Hannah, don't even read that out loud. Um, he would compliment someone and ask them how they're doing, then ask if they like black guys. Oh
Yikes.
my God,
Cancelled.
definitely don't do that. If someone is kind of still out here in 2021 and like they're like, oh, don't like only like white girls, only like black guys, like probably don't want to be with them. Just gonna keep and
Yeah.
like honestly, even if that is your preference, just kind of keep it close to the chest. You know, you don't need to say that out
No.
loud. No.
The only other thing I have to say is be clear about your intentions and your feelings, okay?
Amen.
Because uh it's going to be really hard if you're going into college. I'm sure you've never had to be that honest in a relationship,
Yeah.
but this is the time to figure out how to communicate.
Yep.
And if you just want to hook up with someone, let them know. Just want to hook up. If you're interested in dating the person, let them know.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be transparent, or there's going to be a lot of confusion. There's going to be a lot of
Yeah,
conflict.
and let me say something for the heterosexual men out there. There is no reason for you to think that you're cool, you're a player, whatever. Oh, I got multiple girls, blah blah. Dude, grow up. Like you're in college now. You're an adult. Like if you look around, there's some people who legitimately have children in your classroom
Mm,
next to you. Grow up. Like
right.
this is not, oh, I'm cool in high school. I have as many girls as I want. Like, dude, like I said, keep that close to the chest. If that's something you gotta like, oh man, women I have like nah, like that's not cute. No one thinks it's cute. Like going around talking about, oh, I slept with this person, that person. Oh, I think she's not cute, not cool, whatever. Like the thing that I think women will find more sexy than anything is one, a guy who's confident in himself. He treats women with respect, and you know what? Even if it doesn't work out, they're still decent and respectable. You know, you say hello to them in the hallway. You don't say, hey, how's it going? You reach out. You can be, and
Hmm.
you know, you might get friend zoned, but the thing is
Guess what? If you're respecting women, you're respecting yourself.
right, right, exactly. And
So just think
like
about
I said,
that.
if you get friend zoned, that's not the end of the world because then you have a friend. And honestly, I personally think like I have a couple of friends who have been friend zoned who I'm like, oh, he's just the nicest guy ever. He's the sweetest guy ever, whatever. And I would suggest that friend to my other friends. So
Mm,
keep that in mind.
right. You build a resume.
Right, right. I mean, honestly, if you have a resume out of respect or that people like respect you and like you, he's a nice person, that would take you probably way farther than any relationship anyway. So,
Yeah. Just be a nice person,
yes.
guys.
All right, Hannah. So let's do this real quick for YouTube. Give us
Okay.
your rapid your list real
Okay.
quick. How many you got on there? Three, four, five?
Uh, what are we looking at?
No,
Mental
no.
health
You're
or?
just so we can recap real quick
Oh,
the all the romantic tips. How many you got there?
okay. We actually pretty much covered all of
Okay.
them. So
You have,
we basically said you gotta own who you are. You gotta be confident. That's important.
mm-hmm.
Communication is key. Okay, don't be strutting around like you're king of the hill. Okay. Um, Compliment them, make them feel like, make them feel good. You're admiring them. They like that. Um, you said ask them lots of
Yep.
questions about themselves and peacocking.
Peacocking. Show it
Don't
off.
forget it.
Don't be afraid to be confident and just be a nice person and be cool. That's it.
That's
All
it.
right. Why don't we break this up a little bit and then we'll go back into some
Sure.
stuff. Let's jump into this whole Kanye versus Drake.
Let's
So the
get into
question we
it.
were asking initially is, who do you think's album was gonna sell more records, Kanye or Drake, when
Okay.
this whole beef thing ends up starting or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Are you asking me?
Yo, yeah, yeah, yeah. So who like, so who do you think is going to sell more records, Drake or Kanye?
Oh, Drake,
Really,
unfortunately.
really?
So, um, yeah, I mean, obviously I want it to be Kanye because Kanye is my
Yes.
boy, but I think that um Drake's demographic is so tight. Like his music hits those people that are listening to him. The lyrics hit so
Yeah.
close. He knows how to market so closely
Mm-hmm.
that um I agree, Carly. He is more mainstream. He's going to get on the charts so much more easily.
So this is I disagree because the thing is about Drake, I don't even remember his last two albums like that, to be honest. I think there
Okay.
is potential for that, like, because first off, he does a lot of peacocking. He's like Jamaican one
Hmm.
album, he's white the next, he's a rock star. It's like he's Canadian all of a sudden, he's doing a British
Hmm.
accent. He's just, the dude is just a chameleon, like wherever he goes.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
but the thing is, like, don't get me wrong, Drake is a beast. He is a beast too. So like
Uh-huh.
he can hold that. But I think the thing is when Kanye makes a song that hits or slaps, it like
Mm,
it dominates. It dominates. Like you think of like
right.
Heartless, Flashing Lights, like
No, I
um
agree with you. I love
yeah.
Kanye. I want the answer to be Kanye, and I hope that his new album is. I hope it's like Pablo,
Yeah.
okay? I'm really
So it's
hoping.
Donda, and it's gonna be about his mom and personal stuff and all
Yeah.
that. I heard the first live stream. This guy's done like 15 cents. Who knows what the album is? But
Mhm.
I heard that he's going back and letting Pusha T get in a couple tracks. He's added some features
Okay.
in there. The other thing is anything him and Kid Cudi do is just like chef's kiss,
So
fantastic.
good.
So there's
Yeah, so
potential
good.
there too. I think Drake has more of the music for the captions and Instagram and
Yeah.
all that. So that is why it can have some longevity. But I think
Hmm.
Kanye's music will last longer. And I think
Yes.
the last time we saw this, it was Kanye versus 50 Cent with Curtis
Hmm.
and um, oh boy, I'm blanking. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and
Yep.
that just oh no, it was Graduation. Excuse me, yeah, it was Graduation, and Graduation just blew it out of the water. And I think Kanye has that ability when it becomes competitive to just
Mm.
absolutely destroy.
The difference is Kanye is an
Yeah.
artist. And we could say that Drake is an industry plant.
Oh my god, damn.
Um, and listen, I like. This reminds me of Kanye when he's like, "I like some of the Gaga
Yeah,
songs."
yeah. I like
Listen,
some of the
I
Gaga
like some
stuff.
of the Drake
Yeah,
songs. I do like Drake. I will admit that fully.
yeah,
But Kanye is far more talented, and Drake has like 500 people writing these songs for him. Not actually,
yeah.
but
No, I agree. Like I made the joke because they both kind of have ghostwriters and stuff here and there. Was like, whose ghostwriters are gonna be better? Honestly, I trust Kanye's.
mm,
I mean, I trust Kanye's.
yeah, it's a good point.
Like it. It's funny. Like so in the whole back and forth beef, like Kanye put them into Drake into a group chat with Pusha T. And you just know,
Hmm.
like Drake is just like shaking, like because what Pusha T did to Drake was like, I mean, we hadn't seen anything like it because Drake is like the Prince of Hollywood. Everyone loves him. Everyone is sweet about
Yeah,
him. So when Pusha T
yeah.
made that diss and like basically bullied him into becoming a father, that was crazy.
He outed him.
That was
Yeah,
crazy. So if Pusha T
yeah.
does something like that on this album, Kanye West might win. That's my thing.
I hope so. And I think the thing about Drake is, like you said, he is sort of like a Hollywood
Yeah.
darling. Um, and he has a lot of shit under all of that. We know about all of the shit with Millie
Oh
Bobby.
boy, I don't want to touch that. I'm
Um,
not touching that one right now.
we're not gonna get
Yeah.
into it, but just all of those
The alleged
accusations,
allegation. Yes.
alleged,
Yeah. Yeah.
allegedly.
I mean, I believe him, but yeah,
Um,
we're not gonna get into it.
we won't get into it, but there's
Yeah.
that. I mean, he hid his son. Like, there's so many things that
That
are
young
like,
girl who he was like talking to was 16 to 18. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, like you say that, because I feel like in this Me Too world we live in, and like, there's definitely some things in his closet that are sketchy, skeptical, and it's
mhm,
interesting because it doesn't seem to really affect his record sales at all. But when Kanye comes
uh,
out and says like George Bush doesn't like black people, or he's like, hey, he both sides an argument, people like lose their shit. So I think Corey made a point where he says Drake is an entertainer. I think that's the big thing is Drake is an entertainer. People like that he's an entertainer. They feel connected to
yeah.
him, like you said with the lyrics. So
Hmm.
I think,
And I think the difference is, Kanye is transparent now about his mental health and his struggles with mental health, and I think that he, in some ways, is a lot less misogynistic than Drake.
yeah,
And Drake is appealing to more of a male audience in that kind of culture.
that's interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, so Corey said, I think that there's ammo that's easily out there in Kanye. I agree. I think there's plenty on there that Drake could put. I mean, the Trump hat,
Mhm.
his
Yeah,
his
definitely.
divorce, all that stuff. But I don't know if Drake has it in him to go that low blow route. I mean, he kind of
Exactly. Or even how to do
well, yeah,
that.
because he did it with Kid Cudi. Remember, he made fun of Kid Cudi's mental health, and everyone was like, "Dude, this is whack. This is distasteful." And he didn't touch it. He didn't mention it. Didn't do anything again. And I think he kind of has that thing where he wants to be liked by other people. So that's why I
Right,
don't like
totally.
Kanye doesn't care if everyone hates him. So I think Kanye will take a low blow, and I don't think Drake will do that. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think about this. Who do you think is going to win this beef? Hannah thinks it's going to be Drake. I kind of agree with her, but I do see how Kanye could potentially win it. Let us know and subscribe. All right, Hannah, let's move on to mental health. So,
All
so
right.
what are some mental health solutions you have for people returning to school, returning back into the office after
Mm-hmm.
being gone after this pandemic, some for a year, year and a half, whatever? What are some tips?
I think the biggest one that I thought of today was um, finding your home away from home,
Hmm.
per se. And if you're at school, that may be a
Activity,
specific,
sports.
sure.
Hmm.
But for me, it was a physical place,
Okay.
um, the bowels of the library.
Mm. That's a
And
popular one. Like you'll see in the library,
yes,
people have their headphones on, they focus, get their work done.
this was my favorite part of the entire campus. And it just felt like coming home every time. And I think if you find that kind of space or activity or even like group of people that feel like home, you'll do a lot better. You'll feel like you have that safe space.
Yes, I agree. It's funny you say that because I, even in high school, had that. So God, my schedule in high school was just crazy. Like waking up at like 6 o'clock, 5:30, getting home at like 7 every day. Like I don't know how that
Mm-hmm.
was impossible. So when I got home, I was like, I don't have time to do homework or anything. So when I got to school early, I would go to the library and just sit there, do my work, get it all done. Or after
Mm-hmm.
school, like if I was waiting for my parents to pick me up or something, I'd go in the library, crank out some work. It is a very good spot, and I love that tip. Love it.
Definitely. Some other things I thought of. Plan your snacks and your drinks accordingly.
Okay.
And this could be, if that one Starbucks drink is going to help you through your classes and it's going to make that worthwhile for you, then it's worth
I
it.
agree.
Um, bring your favorite snacks to your classes so you have something to look forward
Hmm.
to. You need to have you need to have at least some things that are familiar. Um, and the food will help you get through your classes too. And we need to think about caffeine though, because the caffeine could make you a little more anxious. So
And
just think
for the
about that.
record, Miss Hannah is a registered
Yes,
nutritionist.
I
Yes.
am.
So you can
Mhm.
take her advice. Follow her on Instagram at InstaHan. She's got all types of goodies there. Um,
Mhm.
One thing I want to say with that too is it's like you have mini goals throughout the day, right? For me,
Mhm.
my mini goal was all right. Let me make it to this period because then I'm gonna walk in the hall and pass this pretty girl. I mean, that's all.
Oh my
Like
god,
that's all I could
yes.
think about. I was like, I'm gonna pass this girl in the hall. We're gonna talk because we have the same thing. You know, like I loved it.
It's so
I loved it.
true.
So that was my mini
Yeah, I
goal.
used to do the same
Yeah.
thing.
And
Um
again, don't let
and
anyone tell you that's corny, chuggy, whatever. Like, no, dude. Like, do your thing. Do your thing. Like, as long as it
yeah,
makes your day.
totally.
Like, dude, if I went through my route and I didn't see that pretty girl, that I was like, oh, it just bummed me out.
It's the worst. That literally makes the day like forget it. Throw it
Dude,
away.
like
Throw the whole
so I
day
was a
away.
freshman, and there was this girl in my French class. She was a sophomore, the first older woman of my life, if you will. And whenever I went to French class, she would always be there right before, like waiting outside at her locker because it was
Mm.
there. And I would always make it a point to just have a quick little conversation, and
Oh
and
my.
it just changes the whole day for you. So
Yeah, you get to think about, oh my God, is she thinking about me? Like, what, you get to write the story.
exactly, exactly. So, what else do you have for us, Miss Hannah here?
Um, I was thinking about on the thought of nutrition.
Okay.
Obviously, consult your doctors before adding any supplements into your life. That's my
Yes,
disclaimer.
yes.
But as we get into the colder months, make it a point to be taking some vitamin D.
Okay.
Okay.
What's that do for us out there who don't know about the vitamin D?
So you're gonna produce less vitamin D once the sun, we don't get as much exposure to the sun, and the sun is good for depression and
Mm-hmm.
anxiety. Um, so the vitamin D is going to help keep those levels up.
Love it. Love it.
Just a thought, okay?
And what are some natural, holistic ways that you can get some vitamin D?
Nuts,
I'm allergic to nuts.
salmon. Oh yeah,
I don't
stay
eat
away from
salmon.
those.
Go ahead.
What? You don't eat
I don't eat
salmon?
any fish because I think fish are friends, not food.
Okay. Um,
Hold on, real
olive.
quick. Before let me move on real quick.
Okay.
If I said to you, "Eat a dog," you'd be like, "That's crazy," right?
Not necessarily, but
Okay, I
sure.
get you though. But like culturally in America and in Western Hemisphere over here, people aren't eating dogs.
Uh,
So for
sure.
me, growing up, I always had pet fish, pet turtles, whatever. So that is
Uh,
very weird to me that I would eat fish and then I look over there and like I got a little fish. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's my thing. I just want to throw that out there. So continue.
I totally get it.
Yes, yes. Do
Um,
oranges have
so
vitamin D? Carly says.
no, it's mostly fish. Honestly, it's a lot of fish, but eggs have a good amount in them
Okay.
too. Um, I'm just
I
trying to
always
refresh my
That's
memory.
okay. Yeah, I always feel like that is a common misconception. Like vitamin D, is that like a slogan or something? Like they put it on
Uh,
the orange juice boxes.
well, actually, yeah. So if you're looking at things that are
Yeah.
fortified, like orange juice, it can be fortified with vitamin D, and that's the same with milk as well.
Mm,
So, Carly, you were not far off. It's just it has to be the fortified juice.
got you. Got you. Um, what do you have in the morning every day?
uh, this morning I had a scone and an iced
Oh,
coffee,
nice.
and I had some ginger tea as
Okay, I
well.
love scones. I love scones. I go with a smoothie every day. That's
Uh-huh.
my go-to.
Very
I like to
good.
have some blueberries in there, some strawberries, melon, wa- pineapple. I throw some flaxseed in there, a little bit of broccoli, and some kale.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been really on my game lately, so I can't really use myself as an example, but
Listen, we love you the way you
I
are,
can be a
though.
wealth of
We love
knowledge.
you the way that you are.
Thank you.
All right.
Should we see this trailer? Are we running out of
All right.
time?
Yeah, let's do it. So, all right, Hannah, give us
Okay,
a quick recap, like you did again, of some
sure.
different mental health ways. So, here are some different mental health ways for returning back to school or in the office. Let's see here.
Okay. So find your home away from home, somewhere that you feel safe. Maybe it's an activity, maybe it's a group of people. Find that place that you can just kind of unwind, and take time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you need to have snacks or a particular drink for your classes or at work, make a point to pack them or order them because it's going to make your day. You're going to be looking forward to something and it'll be fun for you.
Or, something like seeing someone in the hallway during that second period.
Yes.
Love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Start romanticizing your life.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that for you.
And then vitamin D. Consult with your doctor if this is right
Yes.
for you. Vitamin D is great for the mood, and we need more of it when we don't get a lot of sun in the winter.
And I just love to have like a nice water in the morning too, just to get me. Like, it wakes me up personally. So I guess that's kind of the same thing as the coffee. So just
Mm-hmm.
think about your diet and your nutrition and your routine every day. I say that's the big thing is a routine and something to look forward to. All right. Let
Totally.
us know down below what you guys have. What are some of your tips thank you, and subscribe. All right, Hannah. Let us jump into this watch party before we head out. Alrighty, so this is The Sweet Life. It's coming out on HBO Max. Are you ready, Miss Hannah?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Everything I say, it just happens.
So we're gonna be millionaires.
Yes.
Sweet Life.
Y'all are giving me the vibes that I've been looking for.
South Central LA. We breed top creative superstars.
I love
We're
this
looking
song.
at black success.
This is giving me
When they go up,
what was that show on Netflix with the Asian people?
they go up.
With all the rich?
And I love my
Bling
girlfriends.
or
We're all
something?
striving to be the best.
Oh, yeah.
They're
I'm
really
not
making a
sure,
name for
but I've never
themselves.
seen that one, but yeah.
Bling Empire is what it's called. Yeah.
Yes.
Bling Empire vibes. That's what I'm getting.
You about to propose? Oh my God.
Hold on.
No, he not.
A
What about that
proposal.
He disrespected you. What are you gonna do about it? I'm never gonna trust him again.
If somebody's getting out of line, you'll be put
My
back
problem with
into
this
line.
is that it's just so...
Are we even friends?
Like, where is the grit?
pray on it.
Yeah. So see, that was the thing in Bling Empire too. It's like
Really?
About you growing up and to see
they're
your
so
success
high
just makes me
class
feel
and
good.
so wealthy that it's like there's just like a level of decorum in
finally
class. They don't
closed on
really
my
have that
home.
like ratchetness, you know?
Thinking about moving out, moving in with Cheryl.
Yeah. And I like the messiness of reality TV. That's why I watch it. Because it's just
Everything
so
I say,
interesting.
it just happens.
So we're gonna be millionaires.
I mean, this does look
Of course.
interesting too.
With this, it's kind of like we're like voyagers on this trip with them of like as they're trying to pursue greatness or like become millionaires or whatever, you know? Like you definitely want to be in this friend group, you know what I'm saying?
I'm ready
Yeah.
for that next step.
Ooh, look at that. That's right up your alley. Rollerblading. All right, so that was Sweet Life. Real quick, Hannah, what did you think about that? So, is that something you think you'd watch? How you feeling right now?
I would definitely give it a try. I know that it says that it's unscripted, but I don't believe that.
Same. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it just looks very The Hills to me. Which is kind of reality TV where nothing happens.
My mom said that show's like Baldwin Hills, so it's just a bunch of black rich kids, and that's kind of that's the vibe that I'm getting from that. Like I feel like it gives me Bling Empire vibes, but it's like with a reality TV show, like you want to see people like pull each other's hair a little bit, like fight, like what's the stakes. But I guess maybe we're in like this new era of reality TV shows, but I don't know, like what's the problem there? Like if the problem is, oh, we have so much money and we want more and we're not succeeding at that, then like I don't know if I want to watch that for a few seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely give it a try. I like to see a little struggle. I like to see grit, which is why I love Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very raw. You see these people pursuing their dreams in these tiny apartments in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's just like run down. It reminds me of my apartment.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just see the struggle, like they're hungry.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know these people's background, so I can't really say, you know, if they're coming from money or not.
I can guarantee you, if you go to any of their Wikipedia pages, their parents got the little underline on it. Guarantee you.
I know. I knew you were gonna say
Yeah,
that.
that's our go-to joke here that we make. But the other thing I was gonna say is in Bling Empire, what I liked is there's this kid Kevin who he doesn't come from money. He's poor, like Dan Humphrey porn in the poor in the sense of like
Middle class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's pursuing modeling and acting, and it's like you don't do that if you're poor. So, I think there's probably a couple of people in the show who have that background, or like who are like the poor one in the group, and like that's supposed to be us. And it did make it an enjoyable ride because watching that and playing Empire, you felt bad for him a lot of time. There was this instance where this girl was trying to find like who her real father was because she was adopted. So I think there are ways that they can do that in The Sweet Life where they might create this background and drama, because I think a lot of people think, oh, they're wealthy, they have no issues, and that actually isn't the case. So who knows? I think we might give it a try. But all right, so that was Sweet Life. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Are you gonna watch it? And make sure you subscribe. Alrighty, that is all we got for today. Thank you, Hannah, for showing up.
Thank you.
You crushed it. You did phenomenal.
I had such a good time.
Yes, you really elevated the show today. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, so make sure you subscribe, everyone. Have a lovely night. We'll see you guys on Thursday at 7:30, same time, with Corey and Matt. You don't want to miss it. Corey is a funny cat. And that's it. Hannah, you got anything to say? You got any shows coming up? Anything on your Instagram?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to throw in a plug.
Let's hear it.
If you don't follow me already, give me a follow.
TikTok.
And
Instaham.
I don't really have anything else going on. If you want to come see me, I have a show October 2nd. Buy tickets. You can message me if you need the link.
Okay, I will put that in the video in the description. I'll put your Instagram there, your TikTok. You've been crushing it. Thank you again for coming on. Have a lovely Tuesday, Wednesday night, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.